Yoma Daf Nun Hey. Today's first email comes from Tzvi Medetsky, Mr. Anonymous. Dear Rebelli, do not stop showing pictures of Shaq and Michael Jordan. That's why I watch. Okay. Second email is from Moshe Rifkin, and he goes on to say at the end, he says, I also want to thank Yosef Bilyak for the special effects during Shir, especially during your story today about the knife. Have a good Shabbos, Moshe Rifkin. Thank you. Yoma Daf Nun Hey. When the Kohen Gadol sprinkles the blood towards the top of the aron, so the back of his hand is facing downwards, and when he's aiming towards the bottom part of the aron, the back of his hand is on top, and he goes as so with his finger, he dunks it in the blood and he sprays it. When the Torah talks about the bull, it says that the Kohen Gadol should sprinkle 7 times on the bottom, but it doesn't say how many times he should sprinkle on top. Although it says he should sprinkle on top, it doesn't say how many. In the pasuk of the goat, it says you should sprinkle 1 on top, but it doesn't say how many on the bottom, but it says you should sprinkle on the bottom. It also says in the pasuk of the goat, that the goat and the bull are equal in the way you spray it, you sprinkle the same amount of azayis. So that's how we learn that both of them require 1 hazah, 1 sprinkle on top, and 7 on the bottom. But when the Torah tells us by the goat that you have to sprinkle on the bottom, that's extra, because it says you should do it identical to the bull. So it's to teach us a hekesh, that al, on top of, is lefanav, means in front of, not directly. It shouldn't be touching the aron itself, just like in front doesn't touch, so al also doesn't mean to touch. And lemala, above, is extra by a bull, and that's to teach us a binyanav. You learn a halacha from it that every time it says in the Torah the word penei, it means mizrach. Now, every time he sprinkles, according to a mayor, you have to count. According to a mayor, how do you count? Like we count on Yom Kippur. Achas v'achas, achas v'shtayim. According to Rabbi Yehuda, you count, but you say shtayim v'achas. In other words, machlokes is each person according to where they live. You say, let's say in English, 21 or 120. What comes first? And you always count the first hazah that you did on top. So that's the achas. Then it's achas v'shalosh, achas v'chamesh. Why? Why do you have to count the first one? According to Rabbi Lazar, is to give him that moment, that second, to remind him exactly what hazah is up to, and he shouldn't make a mistake. But according to Rabbi Yochanan, it's not for him to remember, it's a doiraisa. Yaza is extra, and it's to teach us that you must count, and since it's a chukah is la'akev, if you don't do it, you're not yaitza. Nafkemina, if you didn't count. In the Mikdash, there were 13 boxes called shofros. The first one is tikkun chanta, where you put your machzah shekel in for tzedakah. The second one is tikkun atika, where you put your machzah shekel that you forgot from last year. And that goes to fix whatever you need to fix, the walls, the towers. There's a pushka for eitzim, if you donated wood, 2 pieces of wood. Levina, frankincense, you give a 1 kmitza worth. And there's 1 zav l'chfayres. L'chfayres, according to Rashi here, means enough gold for the klei hamikdash. There's another Rashi and another Masech that says it's to repair the kapayres. And there are 6 boxes for nadava, for the ketz hamizbeach, when there's a low time in the mizbeach. And there's a box called kinim, and that's for the mature doves. And then there's geizli oila, that's for the babies. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it contains only money for oilais and not for chatos. But over here you see that according to Rabbi Yehuda, you could rely on the wording on the outside of a box, because we have 13 boxes and there's wording on them. So the reason why he doesn't allow to put money of chatos inside one of the boxes, because we're concerned that if a person who put the money in dies, and we know that he's dead, now we have a problem of chatos shemesu ba'aleh. Money that was given towards the chatos and the owner died, you can no longer bring, and it's going to passel all the money in that shofar. So that's why Rabbi Yehuda says you shouldn't put it in. Rabbi Yehuda does not hold of the concept of breira, retroactive clarification. So Melo, it's not going to help if you take out from that 1 box 4 zuz equal to the amount of money that the dead person put in there, and say, okay, this 4 zuz is what the dead man put in there, and then take that 4 zuz, grind it up, toss it into the ocean. It's not going to work because he doesn't hold of retroactive clarification. Just to be concerned that perhaps maybe somebody died, even though we don't know for a fact, we're not concerned, because the halacha is if somebody sends a chatas, you could be makriv in the mizbeach. And we're not choishesh that perhaps maybe he dies. You see, that kind of chashash we don't have. We only have a chashash if we know for a fact that he died. Now what do we do? It's chadash umesu b'alel. Have a wonderful day.